Good morning and welcome to Tipsy Tuesday. Hello, hello, everyone. I'm super excited about today. We have Matt and April Findley on as our special guests, and
Hey guys.
we're gonna find out exactly what it is that they do daily. Plus, Matt's got some pretty cool Twitter secrets that he's going to share with us later on in the webinar. So definitely stick around. Excited to have you all here. I see we have Kelly, Tanisha, Eric, Tiffany. How are you? Few people coming in. I got Laura. How is everyone? Welcome, welcome, welcome. So I'm going to introduce to you the special guest. As you know, Stephanie Butler's here. I am your host, Samantha Wall. If you're new to Tipsy Tuesday, this is a 30-minute webinar that we do every Tuesday. You can register at tipsytuesdaymastermind.net and register for all of the Tipsy Tuesdays coming up every Tuesday. So we have April and Matt Findley. If you guys want to just tell us about yourselves, that'd be great.
Well, first off, we just want to say thank you so much, Sammy, for having us on today. Your Tipsy Tuesday crowd is awesome. I've been dying to get on one of these webinars, and I actually have a conflict at this time every week. So we are just like so excited to be able to be here today and hang out with everybody because we just know that this is an awesome crowd. We've got Stephanie Butler on. We met Stephanie and Kelly at Live the Dream, and I also saw Paul on, and we met him at Live the Dream. We love you guys. You're awesome, and we're just excited to hang out with you today. So thanks, Sammy. And you and I need to get together soon, and if you guys ever have problems with building a tent, Sammy Wall is your gal, okay? So we're just really excited to be here with you guys today and just so excited to hang out and hopefully give you tons of value today. So thanks again for having us on.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about yourselves. How long have you been network marketing? Tell us a little bit about your story.
Well, like pretty much right when April and I met, she joined a network marketing company. So it was like our first 30 days of our relationship. She was in a network marketing company, and we just
that was about my fourth by that time.
Yeah, so. She went herself through the ringer there. You know, she built her list of 100 people, and we went to a bunch of meetings, and finally signed somebody up after the 100th person there, and then that person refunded. And shortly after, we decided to get married and put it on hold anyway, and didn't really pick it back up again for a few more years after that. And
about 3 years later, we were really looking. We really liked the network marketing model, but we ran into the same challenges that a lot of families do, which is time constraints, especially if you have kids, and just trying to do the offline methods of networking and recruiting and prospecting people. So back in 2009, we were taking a second look at this as a couple, this time as a married couple, and found online marketing. Shortly thereafter, we found MLSP, and it's taken us a few years to get to the point where we've decided together to really get serious and consistent with our business, and that is when, in the past year, that's when everything has really started happening for us.
Yeah, in the beginning, we bought it all, the hook, line, and sinker. You can build this all on autopilot, and you can have income overnight and all of that stuff. We bought it hook, line, and sinker.
And paid a lot for it.
Yeah,
too.
And it was really expensive.
So we were
tough.
Yeah, we were really excited when MLSP came along. I know a lot of you folks are with MLSP here in the chat and stuff. And if you aren't familiar with MLSP, make sure that you get together with Sammy after the webinar, and so that you can find out more. But basically, that was really the turning point for us. Was when we discovered MLSP probably back in 2010.
Yeah.
So yeah, we discovered MLSP back in 2010, but we had just come through a bankruptcy. We had to short sell our home because it was in foreclosure. We had a car repossessed from work, and this was all as a result of that autopilot business opportunity that we sank a lot of money into, not working out the way that we had planned. So we were just in a position. Oh yeah, and we were having another baby too. So we
got defrauded.
Yeah, so the money was going out and it was not coming back in, and that's about the time that we discovered MLSP, and we kind of sat on it for a while, and then, like we were saying, we sat down and made a commitment last year. We committed to a couple of strategies. Started out with Instagram, expanded that into Twitter, and then really started to get some momentum and getting some results in our business. So it's been a really exciting last year for us.
So now you went from struggling to all of a sudden getting results. I know MLSP had a lot to do with it, but what exactly happened between, finding MLSP and that struggle? What kind of changed with you guys to start actually seeing results?
Well, when we first joined MLSP, I was just kind of hitting it solo with what I was doing, and I was able to generate a few leads here and there, maybe within my first month, I think I generated like 5 or 6 leads, and the same thing the second month. And then, after a few months, I was able to get some traction and started generating some more leads through some solo ads and stuff, but I couldn't even duplicate my own results. I had a real problem with understanding the concept of what was actually working. To generate the leads. I didn't understand what was working, and so it was one of those things where we just had to, the money, like April said, was going out and wasn't coming back in. There was a lot of personal issues that we were going through. The struggle. Everybody goes through it. It's why isn't this working, and what am I doing wrong, and just the fear mindset creeps in, and anger and frustration, and couple that with a new baby, and a lot of life changes that we went through at that time with having to move and going from home ownership to renters again, and but now with a large family. So
well, on top of that, it's really important to note, during that time, you guys, we found MLSP, but we were not Mastery members.
Yeah, that was well, they didn't have Mastery back then. What I was going to say though is we
weren't fully
we weren't committed
to our business. We weren't investing in ourselves really. We really just had Matt only just had one toe in the pool, and I was back there like this, like holding
She's
the
like,
rest
"Don't
of him
jump!
out." Yeah.
You're gonna die.
Whether you're working together as a couple or you're an individual, if you have that much of a conflict going on about, should I be doing this, should I not be doing this, should I be spending money on this, should I not be spending money on it, that really points back to your mindset, and that was the big shift, I believe. The other stuff is kind of peripheral and conditional or circumstantial, but what really started happening last fall was that Matt and I partnered, and we agreed that we were going to let him go and do the thing, and I was going to get out of the way. And then the cool thing that happened was that we ended up starting to do the thing together, and it did really start with mindset, because I had been very jaded about this industry. I thought everybody was out to get our money and just wanted to sell us stuff, and I didn't want to be taken advantage of again, or fooled again, or scammed again, or whatever was going on in my mindset. And the interesting thing is that when we went to Live the Dream this year, we were listening to a bunch of audios from that opportunity that we had been involved with several years ago where we lost our shirts, and I started to realize that everything was there. They were telling us the same things that we're hearing today, but because our mindset had changed about the industry, about who we were, about our business and what we were doing and why we were doing it, everything made sense to me now. So I'm going to say that mindset was the big caveat there.
Yeah, for sure. And our unity, our decision to go at it together. Yeah, we became a chain.
That's awesome. So as far as your daily routine, what do you do on a daily basis to get, your work done? And, I know, April, you also work from home. as well. So you're both not full time right now. So how do you go about, a lot of people have problems with time management and what do I do? I mean, we can all get caught up on Facebook and talk to, 50 people that day, but not get anything accomplished. So how do you really, focus in and get your time set and your daily routine going?
Well, it's really about simplifying your tasks. Find out the simplest way that you can. If you know how to generate a lead, what did you do to get that lead? If it's posting something on Facebook, you got to figure out how to post more on Facebook. If it's posting something on Twitter or talking to more people, you got to figure out how to talk to more people. So it's just, and then simplifying that process. We figured out that one of the things that got us leads was following people on Twitter, because we were already sharing a lot of value on content on our Twitter feed and Facebook and all of that stuff. So, the thing was then to add the traffic to it, and that was, I think, one of the big aha moments for April and I was traffic. We figured out that, you can share things all day on Twitter, but nobody's going to see it. Same thing on Facebook. You could share things on Facebook all day, but nobody's going to see it. And that's the point, is that, if you really boil it down to it, you just need to get more eyeballs on your stuff. So what can you do to get more eyeballs on your content?
Right. So to bullet item that, I would say, you've got to have that content because you've got to have that value that you're reaching people with. That you got to get the content out there. And one of the things, and we're always like working to kind of figure this out and make it better too, guys, because it was really simple when we first started generating leads, because we were just focusing on Instagram and Twitter. And once we started getting some momentum, then Facebook came into play, and YouTube, and blogging, and doing webinars, and doing all this other stuff. And suddenly we found that our focus was fragmented across all these different spectrums. And so coming around full circle, we're like, what was working for us so good in the beginning, and we're refocusing there. So doing that content, picking the platform that you're going to get that content out there with, and then driving traffic to that content, whether you're using Twitter or Instagram or whatever your form is, like Matt was saying, then that would be step 2. So step 1, content. Step 2, drive the traffic. And then step 3, engage with those folks that come in. And that's the 1, 2, 3 punch.
Yeah, and as far as like a DMO, with a family and jobs and stuff going on, you just got to fit it in where you can. If you're a big TV watcher, it's time to cut the cable cord. If you're, if you're big on Facebook, you got to shut it off. You got to get focused, and you spend more time on your business than you do on any other thing. If you're spending, it's like, I know everybody's heard it before, but if you sit down and just calculate and write down everything that you do during one single day, write it all down, and then when you're looking at it, well, I can cut 5 minutes here and 10 minutes here, and that's what I was saying. You just simplify your processes for everything, and then you fit your marketing into there. And I see Paul's got a question here. Do you feel mindset content is okay, or do you feel we need to include tutorials? That's a great question, Paul, and it's something that April and I have been talking about recently, because she focuses a lot on mindset, and I focus a lot on training and stuff like that. But we've found that you're going to get more leads if you talk about getting leads.
Yeah. Mindset
is great, but it only communicates with people that are on that same track with you. If you're talking about in level as well, that's important. If you're talking about mindset, you're going to be attracting other people that are focused on that same mindset track that you've got going. So it just comes down to the more value you can provide, and providing value is one of those things where how-to videos and articles and stuff like that will kill it. If you've got everything set up, if you got your Facebook set up the right way, if you got your Twitter set up and Instagram, which most people have all of that set up. It's just now you need to start adding the value. And mindset is value, but only to a certain point.
Right, and case in point, I mean, I've got a bunch of mindset videos up on YouTube. They get, like between, I don't know, maybe 50 and 100 views. I sat down and did a how to set up your Instagram account for business or something like that. Over 2,000 views.
Yeah, it's closing in on 3,000 views. So
yeah, that clearly tells us that people want training. You can do both, but that's definitely the lead magnet is the training. And,
yeah. Yeah, if you can turn whatever your content is into a capture page, like how to get, 10 leads a day on Twitter, like that's your content. If you can make it around a capture page, that's what's going to get you leads. You can't do a whole lot of capture page stuff on mindset, and that's kind of our philosophy on that. Mindset is good, but you got to have I think it's more of like a quarter mindset and 3/4 training. If you're going to go for it and you want to hit a new level in your business, a quarter mindset, 3/4 training. So
it's interesting though. I think that it's also relative depending on the social media platform or the marketing platform that you're using, because Instagram gets tons of leads with mindset and inspirational stuff, but that's not the same thing that we're seeing over on YouTube. Twitter, pretty much everything we put on Twitter tends to get leads.
Well, it's just a process of how you have your account set up and everything, and then driving the traffic. That's really the key, because we've got our training set up in strategic places on Twitter, and that's what converts into the leads. So mindset is what drives the traffic, and new training and different things like that. But it's really the training that pulls in the leads. It's the capture pages that give away the secret sauce that pulls in the leads. So.
Now, if somebody were to come to you and say, "How is MLSP going to help my business?" What is something that you would say to them?
Where do we start?
No, I would say if they're in a place where they're struggling to get more leads for their business and they're not quite sure about the next step to take, and they are in a place in their mind where they know that they need to do something, they're just not sure what it is, MLSP is a great place to start, because they get you straight on everything first, and then they give you that blueprint is put right in front of you, right when you walk in the door. The 10 steps to fire your boss is right there. It's like the placard on the wall, 10 steps to fire your boss. But if you're not ready to receive that information, you're going to have to go through some stuff to get to that point. But if you're ready to receive that information, it's right there. So.
I was going to say, oh, sorry, Sammy, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I was going to say, for me, Matt was already, he already understood the value of MLSP way before I did. Like, I didn't want to hear about it, I didn't want to talk about it, I didn't want to look at anything, and so...
She was like, go get a job!
And so, the cool thing, the way that I became a convert, if you will, and you guys can use this in your marketing with your prospects, is I think that there's a lot of people out there who are willing to spend money to learn to learn a skill set, to learn the techniques that they need to build a business online. The question is that everybody's constantly bombarded with so many different things. How do you know that if you spend your money on this, that you're going to get the value that you're looking for? And the awesome thing with MLSP is that we have 6 ways to Wednesday that you can check out what MLSP is about before you ever pull out your credit card. And so, for me, Matt just came up to me one day and he grabbed my iPhone and he put the MLSP podcast on there.
I was like, here, listen to this.
Yeah, and he said, here's a leader in this community. Sorry for the background noise, you guys.
Our little dudes
work at home parents.
We work at home. What do you do?
and you know, this is the good time to drive the truck on the tile. But but what I was going to say is that, you know, he knew that there were going to be specific leaders within MLSP that were going to resonate with me. You know, it couldn't be any more obvious. There's a very prominent leader within MLSP that shares the same first name as me. So he was like, hey, you need to go listen to her. And one of the best things about the MLSP community is the support of the leadership that comes in, that they volunteer their time just to talk to people. We've been in companies before where if you try to get around, you know, people that have had any kind of results in their business, they kind of, you know, they kind of like want a handkerchief over their hand before they shake your hand and stuff like that. And,
you can just see the disgust on their face when you walk up to them and ask, like, how's it going?
Maybe we should have showered that day. I don't know. But you know,
It helps.
community where you can see that there is a drive and a passion to help other people just like you learn the skill sets and get access to the tools that you need to build a six-figure business online. And it was as a result of being plugged into that community that my mindset about all of it was able to start to adjust. So get people on the wake-up calls. If you got skeptical prospects, get them on the wake-up calls, invite them to the webinars, and let them check it out. You know, check out the value for themselves. Anybody who has who is really serious about their business is going to see the value of this system.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, the community, the mindset, the training, just the wake-up calls that you guys can go to on every morning, Monday through Friday, will be worth the money. And you can go to these for free right now. So, I mean, it's so amazing, the community that you have inside of MLSP and how many people are there to help you, and all of a sudden you build relationships. I mean, there's plenty of us on this webinar right now that are involved in MLSP, and we all surround each other and support each other, and it's just an amazing thing to watch. So I have one more question. I know we're probably going to go over our 30 minutes today because Matt has some Twitter stuff for us, but I do have one more question because I was on a webinar with Matt, I think it was last week, and Matt had said something about how they make their goals, and they do their goals upon followers and, you know, deciding to strive for more, you know, people to follow them on Twitter, more people to follow them on YouTube, and that's kind of how they set their goals. So I just kind of wanted you to maybe elaborate a little bit more on how that works with you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's one of those things, like, we can look at our accounts now because we've generated now a lot of new people in our audience. Like, our audience has grown. It's grown over 100,000 now between all of our social media accounts, with Twitter, with Instagram, with Facebook, with YouTube, with everything all included in that. So it was like, well, you know, that equated into over 3,000 leads for us right now. So it's like, you can transfer the numbers. You know, if I can add another 100K, you know, of course that's going to equal to another 3,000 leads, and I would expect even more leads on top of that because we've already got a system in place. We've already got MLSP in place, so now it's just growing that audience. So that's really the point of having those number goals and putting a number on, like saying, hey, I want to add another 25,000 followers to my Twitter account before the end of the year, because, you know, we know that that's going to equal results. It's going to bring more people in the door that we can talk to, more leads, more phone numbers, more automatic sales, you know, people that sign up and join our business without even ever speaking to them on the phone. And that happens on a regular, consistent basis, because you can expect to see about a 1 to 3% conversion rate on your leads that just kind of join automatically. Maybe you never talk to them, maybe they're never in a place to talk in your business, but that's still money coming in. you know.
Well, there's also the reason why you want to continue to build up your followers on your different platforms. John C. Maxwell has a quote that says, "The true measure of leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less." So however many people you're getting in front of and however many people you're influencing, that's where you're going to start to build your fan base. Sammy, I know that you've been on the Ultimate Lead Gen Formula with Matt and I, Mark Harbert's course, and he did an awesome module last night about branding yourself, and he talked about that again. So you know what Matt's talking about? Matt's talking about lead generation, you guys, and then there's a whole other step to that. And with the stuff that we've been doing, we have been able to generate leads on demand, and a lot of, just through the numbers, people convert. But in order for us to now take things to the next level is really starting to work on our branding and monetizing the list that we already have. And I believe that's a new skill set that we're developing right now as we go along too. But if you are a newer marketer, or if you're just getting to a place where you're learning how to just generate leads, then yeah, what Matt is saying is really important, to just keep building up those followers. We see a lot of people on Instagram and Twitter that are not maxing out the number of people that they can follow, and they don't understand that the more people you're following, the more people you're going to get following you back, and you're going to keep bringing in new people to see your links, to see your offers, to see your invites to webinars, etc., etc. Does that make sense, you guys? Sorry, I kind of rambled there.
You're good. Well, then I'm going to turn it over to you, Matt, and if you want to teach us some of these Twitter tricks you got up your sleeve.
Yeah, absolutely. I was also going to let April go too, because she's got some other stuff that she needs to get to. So, did you want to say anything, April, before we do this part?
I just want to say, if you're a guest on here today, make sure you get back with Sammy and find out how you can check out MLSP for 10 days for $10. If you haven't done that, I've just had the pleasure of getting to know her over the last year, and she's a cutting edge marketer. I'm telling you what, like, the first person that I heard about Periscope from was this gal. So stay close to her, follow her and what she's doing, and you're going to see results as well. So thanks, you guys, for having me on today.
I love you.
It's good to see you. I'll see you guys later. Bye.
All right. Well, as far as Twitter secrets, and also I just want to echo what April said too. We appreciate everybody that we met at Live the Dream and that we're meeting through MLSP, because it's, you guys are part of our audience too, and we appreciate everybody that seeks us out to learn what we're doing, that because we know that you appreciate that. So that's our goal, is to provide as much value as we possibly can. We want to give away the farm if we could, so that's getting on these things is what we're all about. So we just want to say thank you to Sammy as well. And
I thank you 100%, man. You guys have been awesome. I remember when I first met you on Instagram, and I was like, oh, I guess we're family, and then from there it was like, we are.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but and that's what it really takes with a lot of people. If you could find something in common, for us, we just kind of happen to live in the same area and stuff, and we're like, hey, let's get together. But that's what it is on social media. So many people try to automate too much of social media, and they take themselves out of the equation because of fear or their own mindset or whatever. Whatever the setback might be, it's that's just, it's what holds people back. You've got to be able to get out there and talk to people. You've got to keep yourself in the equation. So
yeah, I heard I don't remember who it was, but somebody was talking and they were saying that they don't believe in automation, because the truth is that everything can be automated, but your passion and your drive and your mindset, you can't duplicate that.
Right.
You can't make that happen for someone. Someone's just got to have that already inside of them to be able to go automatic and duplicate and this and that and above. So.
Yeah, for sure. Automating is fun, and you could probably generate some leads from automation, but they're not going to be very good quality leads. And You know, it's going to be a bunch of people that are, you know, that are looking for freebies themselves and that aren't willing to talk to people themselves. So if you expect to get on the phone with somebody when you're not willing to put yourself out there and to put yourself in your marketing, they're not going to want to talk to you anyway. And you know, it's really, you're going to generate the quality of leads that you yourself are willing to be. If you want to be a better quality lead for somebody of a larger personality than you, you're gonna have to start being that person before you can bring those people into your own circle. So.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, as far as Twitter training, you know, I was going to drop a link in here of some stuff that, hold on, let me grab it real quick, of just different things that I put together, videos and everything. Some of my lead bait. You know, some people have seen it before, but I wanted to throw it out there for anybody on here today too, so that.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're on here and you have not connected with Matt and April Findley, go over, connect with them. I'm sure if you go over and you try to friend them on Facebook, just make sure that you send them a message and let them know that you saw them on Tipsy Tuesday so that they have a connection with you, because I'm sure they have a ton of friend requests waiting for them to go through. And if they get a message from you, then they'll know that you actually, you know, are more connected with them and, you know, interested. So definitely follow them because they have great content coming out. Matt is like my Twitter mentor. Everything I've learned on Twitter, I had no idea how to do Twitter, and everything I know on Twitter I've learned from this guy. So.
Yeah, you know, and one of the things about Twitter is there's a lot of different ways to look at it, and you know, especially if you do get a hold of me on Twitter, I'm, you know, really not going to see it unless it happens at this minute, because I get hundreds of new messages a day on Twitter. It's literally, I got you know, the Crowdfire app, I know everybody's probably heard of that if you're in MLSP, because we talk about it quite a bit. If you've listened to any webinars with April Marie Tucker and myself and my wife, we talk about Crowdfire a lot because it's a great app, first off, but you know, it automatically tweets out some of your statistics for you. And it tweeted out last night for me that I got, over the last week, over 11,000 new followers in 1 week.
Wow.
That's yeah. I mean, it's not going to happen overnight, but if you stick with it and you're consistent with it, those are the types of numbers that I'm talking about. You want to talk to a lot of people and get those leads coming in, and you know,
sorry, guys,
get your business in front of more people. Like, that's really.
Sorry, guys.
So, you know, that's really one of the things that you could do is you know, really push those numbers up. And I saw that last night, and it was kind of took me back, because you know, maybe I've gotten, you know,
oh my gosh,
a couple of thousand people.
You're good, honey. Nothing's happening on our end.
Oh, you couldn't hear that? It's like this thing popped up, and it was like, oh my gosh. Okay.
No, we didn't hear anything.
Okay, good.
All right. No, but you know, like I said, when that popped up last night, you know, 11,000 new followers in a week, that was pretty crazy. And you know, normally it's around 1,000, maybe 1,500 to 2,000 a week, and then just to see it go up like that was kind of shocking. That was kind of cool.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah, that Twitter training that I put there, it's got a lot of different stuff. It's got, you know, how I use Crowdfire to follow and unfollow. It's got some direct message stuff. It's got some hashtag stuff in it, you know, and there's a DMO in there, and there's some tools that I use, you know, because there's a lot of different parts to Twitter, and you know, just kind of start at the top. I put they're in order for a reason, and you know, those are the kind of some of the things that you can implement from the top. It's kind of like a little free course that I give to all of my personal MLSP members, and anybody that asks me for it, usually I'll give it. You know, they're like, hey, do you have a Twitter cheat sheet? And you know, that's what I kind of throw out there for them. So I want to share that with you guys today too. So.
Perfect. Thank you. We love that.
Sweet.
Any other Twitter questions or Instagram questions anybody has? So my Instagram's growing at about 100 plus a day right now too, and so if you have any questions on that, we could do that for sure too.
How many people are you allowed to follow over on Twitter?
You can follow up to 1,000 people a day, but it's if you spread it out, sometimes you can hit it a little higher, but sometimes it ends up kicking you off, and they'll like take away some of your privileges for a little while, which has definitely happened. Yeah, and so if you push that limit, I try to do it all at one time now. I used to spread it out and do everything, and little increments, follow 150 here and 150 there, and just kind of keep it like that. But it just wasn't producing the results for me anymore. And then Twitter got mad, and they took away the ability to follow anybody. And then I got in trouble on Instagram, all like in the same week. I got in trouble on Instagram and in trouble on Twitter, and they took all my stuff away. So I just started some new accounts, and went backwards, and still got the traffic, but I wasn't able to use those established accounts for a little while. But that's really what it is. I got a specific strategy where I unfollow in the morning in some of the tools that I lay out on that link there, with Crowdfire for one, and manageflitter.com is another. It's a desktop tool that you can use, and it's free. You can unfollow up to 2,000 people a day if you fulfill a couple of tasks. Like you have to tweet out their link, then you have to follow them on Twitter, then you have to subscribe to their email list, and once you do all that, they'll unlock all the unfollows for you, so you don't need to pay for it. And like I said, it's up to 2,000 unfollows a day. And so, like I said, I unfollow in the morning, either on my mobile with Crowdfire or with Manage Flitter on the desktop, and then I follow just on Twitter. I don't try to follow with those other apps. I know it's faster to follow with like Manage Flitter and in Crowdfire and stuff. And if you're in time constraints, I know that that's something that can absolutely, you can do that. But I've found that it's just more effective to follow, because I really have it honed in to who I'm following. I specifically go and follow. Our niche is network marketing, so we want to follow other network marketers. You want to build that list, build that audience of other network marketers. Get in front of as many network marketers as you can, and when you start throwing out there your free MLSP links, with the free trainings and stuff like that, to get more leads, those are the types of people that want to see those links. So the more network marketers you have in your circle, the more leads you're going to get. And it's going to be mostly from new people coming in the door. So that's why we follow and unfollow. So it's 1,000. I just try to keep it even. 1,000 follow and 1,000 unfollow. Unfollow in the morning, follow in the evening.
Nice. And how do you go about following?
Like I was saying, what I do is and I do it all on my mobile because it's faster for me on Twitter on the mobile device, but you may find that it's quicker for you on the desktop. I personally am able to click my thumb faster than I can move my mouse around. So I just go down the list when I pull up my phone, and you go down and like if you want to look up, I don't know if anybody here is in Mary Kay, but I'll just throw Mary Kay out there because everybody knows what. But when you look up Mary Kay on Twitter and you click on their followers, because it's listed in chronological order. So the last person that followed Mary Kay is going to be the first one on the list. And so who's going to follow Mary Kay? Mary Kay distributors, and that's pretty much it. Maybe a few customers here and there because they love the products, but those people are going to be interested in what you're doing too, because they've maybe already been introduced to the business model. So you want to get those new distributors. That's why I go directly to the network marketing company, and I try to stay away from anything else. because it just Twitter's nasty. It's unfiltered, and I like to stay away from as much distractions and stuff as I can, because news travels like that on Twitter. It's just so fast, and before you know it, you're looking at plane crash scenes or something, and it's like all over, and you can't, you're not following anybody anymore. You're sucked into the news. So I just stay focused. You hit search, type in any network marketing company. Usually their profile is one of the first in the thing. It's going to be the one with the most followers. So you go to that and you follow their followers. So that's how I follow. On Twitter, not anywhere else, on Twitter.
And guys, this is where MLSP also comes into play. If, normal people who only have one stream of income that is just your primary, being able to follow all these different people from all these different companies, you have something to offer them with MLSP. You have training, you have tools, you have mindset, you have all of this stuff that you can offer these people who are already in a company, such as, Mary Kay. If they've been with Mary Kay for 6 years and you're trying to get them to come over to your health and wellness, they might not be ready to come over to your health and wellness right away, but you'll have MLSP to offer them as a different stream. So it's definitely a wonderful add-on to your income stream as well. If anybody has any questions, throw them in the chat for Matt real fast. I know he's a very busy man, so we're going to let him get going. But if you guys have any sort of questions, I'm sure, would it be okay if you answered a couple questions if anyone has any?
Oh, yeah, I can answer any questions about MLSP, any questions about getting to the next level with MLSP, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. I can answer any questions. So.
It doesn't. Let me see. I know we have a little bit of a lag, but I have a question. How did you get to the next level?
Well, have you hit L1 yet, Samantha?
I am on the border.
Yeah. Okay. Well, here's the big secret: is you talk to more people, and that's really what it is. And I know you've already got things in place. You've already got a blog, you've already got Facebook, you've got this webinar channel that you're doing, you've got YouTube, you've got Twitter, Instagram, all of it's working. So now you need to find, like I was saying earlier, ways to bring it all together and simplify it for yourself. It really is a point. If you figure out a way, and that's why we use Twitter. In all honesty, it takes a long time to grow Facebook. It just does. It takes a long time to grow YouTube. It does. But I saw something. We took that Insta-Lead Magic course last year with April Marie Tucker. I don't know if anybody's bought the course or whatever, but there was a tool in there that you use to get more followers and to talk to more people, and so you kind of automate some of those processes without taking yourself out of the loop, and then you start to see, because if you can't sit down and like 800 pictures a day on Instagram, it's just not possible. You can't sit down and comment on 100 people's stuff a day. Everybody's got a life, everybody has things to do, so you've got to find a way to get yourself to where you're doing that. You still talk to your 20 people a day, but you add a tool that bumps it up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's really what it is, and that's what happened with us. We were doing Instagram and Instagram only, and April was like, going out of town. She was on a business trip, and this was last year around December. We had started a year ago. We started is when I picked up a phone and I was like, listen to these wake up calls. This is to get your mind right. If we're going to do this business together, you've got to get your mind right, because her mind wasn't right. We were in constant conflict when it came to the business side of things, because I wanted to move on stuff and her mindset held us back. And in the past, it was my own mindset that had held me back. But we got to that point where we were going to do this together, so she had to get her mind right. And so when we we had done a few things. We did some videos. Like I was writing scripts for the videos, and she was reading the scripts on video and doing that because she's much better looking than I am. So we put her kind of out there in the face of the videos and stuff, because every time I would do a video, she'd tear it apart, and I'd feel so bad because my video just wasn't good enough. So I wouldn't even post it on YouTube. But that was her part of it too, because then when she started doing the videos, she was tearing herself apart too. And so then that clicked for me. I was like, man, it's just this mindset. I got to get her mind right to be able to do this. And that's when she connected with April Marie Tucker. And April isn't our sponsor. It was Brian Finale, and I had never spoken one word to Brian Finale, and I love the guy. I followed him for years, but he was my mentor. He was the guy that I followed even to get into MLSP in the first place, and but I never talked to him just because he doesn't call his leads. So yeah, he doesn't have to call his leads. So I never spoke one word to him. I got one phone call from like the call center from MLSP or whatever when I first started, and that was it. And I parked my account, restarted it, did things here, signed one person up that never would call me back, and then it's like, what do I do now? What do I do now? And I tried my own video marketing and putting stuff out there, and finally I got over myself as well. And it broke through those barriers of fear. But if you're already doing videos and you've already broken through those barriers, it's just adding more people. And that's why I was saying Twitter is a really easy place to add a butt ton of people at one time. You can sit there and follow and connect with 1,000 people a day. You can't do that on Facebook. You can't do that on Instagram. You can't do that on YouTube. You can't do that unless you already have the audience. So in order to build the audience, we use Twitter. I use Twitter to grow my Facebook. I use Twitter to grow my YouTube. I use Twitter to even grow my Instagram. So, all of that stuff can be fed with a solid traffic strategy. And so somebody that says, I've even seen it out there, well, Matt only does the unfollow and follow. That's his strategy. And I would say, yeah, but there's more to it. You still have to provide value. You still have to put yourself out there and show people what you know, because people aren't going to follow you back if you're just talking about sports all the time on your Twitter or Facebook, or politics. I see that all the time. Politics and religion. Everybody wants to share their opinions about voting and how crappy the government is, or how their team sucks, or whatever, but we get all that from the news. So people are just getting the same thing on social media now. You'll never see me post anything about about politics or any of that stuff. Yeah, I'm a religious person. Yeah, I've got my own Christian values, but you don't really know that until you get to know me, So I want to invite people in. I want to give people a reason to follow me back. So that's really what it is in growing your audience.
So you're posting your Facebook and things like that to get more followers over from Twitter to Facebook and Instagram and all that? Is that how you're doing it?
Yeah, you can, there's ways to automate your tweets. I put that in, that's in there as well in that link. There's a tool that I use called Social Oomph. It's all one word, socialoomph.com, SOCIALOOMPH.com. And that tool does a lot of things, but one of the biggest things that I use it for is you could set up queues. You could set up a queue of tweets, and then you could have it tweet out in increments of, from every 5 minutes if you wanted to, once a year. you could just set it up to, if you want it to say Happy Halloween on Happy Halloween and you're too lazy to go to Twitter to type it in, Happy Halloween, you want to have that go out on Halloween every single day or every single year, you can do that with Social Oomph. So what I do is I just have a nice little message that says, have you followed us on Facebook yet? And people will, and that's free followers, guys, as well on Facebook. So they're going to follow me on Twitter, then they're going to come over to my Facebook, and then they're going to see my YouTube stuff. All of that you just added in to whatever you're doing on Twitter, and if you have a lot of people, if you have 11,000 people coming and following you a week on Twitter, they're gonna come and follow you on YouTube, and they're gonna come and follow you on Facebook and Instagram as well. So I just invite people over.
Paul has a question.
Do you feel it is beneficial to send thank you videos to new IG followers? That's something I don't really do. You can, and I get a lot of videos from other people, but I don't watch them. So, if I'm not going to do it, I don't know who else is going to do it. I just I gauge it for myself. You can add value and you could do all those things, but if I'm not going to take that step and I've got other things that I need to get to, I'm not going to send a whole. If I join up a network marketing company and then I go follow them on, on Instagram, and then there's a bunch of people that follow me back, and I'm getting new followers. A lot of those people aren't interested in my business opportunity. They're interested in pitching me their business opportunity. So you've got to have a way to counter that. So with it, I just wait for people who talk to me, and there's ways to do that. If you're using tools, you want to follow people, you want to like their photos, and you want to leave comments. And if they want to take a conversation and get personal on a picture or whatever and talk about stuff, I just take that same picture, and now you can hit the little arrow. There's a little arrow that points to the right, I think, on Instagram, and you just send them the same picture, even if it's their picture. Just hit their picture, send them their own picture with a little message that says, hey, I just, it was getting kind of busy on there, and I don't want to lose this conversation in my notification feed. It's a little easier to keep in contact with me here, because there's really, those welcome messages and stuff, especially on Instagram. If you want to have a bunch of conversations with people, yeah, I suppose you can do that, but a lot of times it leads to dead ends for me, and that's just something that I learned over time. So on other platforms, though, sometimes it's different. With Twitter, I talk to people all the time because I could put a link in there. You really can't put a link in there. I get a lot of people that say, hey, will you send me this? Because they're too lazy to type in my link that I put in, into there. They make me type in their email address. And if, I'm not really hard up for leads, so I'm not going to take the time to type in their email address to send them something, I guess. If I really wanted to, I could. And I've done it before, but it's just one of those things. It's personal preference. If you like to talk, then by all means have a bunch more conversations, and you could do that with videos or pictures or whatever. So.
Well, yeah, and if they want you to be typing in a link, then that means they're going to be wanting you to run their business as well sometimes.
Yeah, for sure. I've had several people have joined MLSP, and they're all great and gung ho the first day, and then you talk to them the next day, and they're like, "This isn't working." It's like, what do you mean it's not working? You haven't even done anything. It's like you didn't even set up your account all the way. You're not marketing the right way. Your Facebook's all messed up. This takes time. And I just don't see how this, that's the answer. I just don't see how this can help me build my business. Well, then that's on you. That's on you in the setup process. You've got to set up, how can this help you grow your business? You got to talk about, this helps you grow your business. You put it in their mind, like a capture page I could make with this newfound, 11,000 followers in 1 week. I can form a capture page around that says, how do you think 11,000 new followers would help you grow your business? So already that question is already answered by them. If they see the value in what I share, then they're going to come in the door. Then I don't have to explain to them how 11,000 people is going to help them grow their business. You know? So hopefully that answers your question. Hold on. What, buddy?
I missed the very beginning. How's your main business? I'm not sure what you mean, Marilyn, as far as the main business. We don't really discuss main businesses, who everybody's in and stuff like that. If that's what you're asking, I'm not sure. The MLSP is what we were talking about, but I'm not sure what exactly that question is. You could elaborate. That would be great.
And also, I would just kind of say more to what Paul was saying or asking about, videos. If you can automate that process, and again, I don't send videos, or I don't send anything to new followers because I'm getting more than 100 new followers a day. So in order to go in there and send a welcome video to every single follower, that's more time that it takes up in my day. So I've already got leads coming in from Instagram, and that's just on the processes that I've already simplified, and I've already been able to max out with what I'm doing. So
perfect. Well, guys, we'll let everybody get back to work. Thank you so much, Matt. Again, thank you, April, for coming out. I'm sure we'll be having you on more often. That's for sure. I know everybody loves the value that you bring. Hi, buddy.
Say hi, Cooper. Yeah, I'd love to help you grow this. This webinar too. That'd be awesome to get. So you'd have to pay more for your subscription. So.
Yeah, I was told by someone just recently, kind of doing a little coaching, and they said, you really should stop posting the Tipsy Tuesday on YouTube. And I was like, I'm not sure I want to do that yet. I really I like the community that we've developed here at Tipsy Tuesday. We have a great group of people who love the value and everything, and if they can't make it, then I definitely like to have it for them, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, no way. I wouldn't ever stop posting. This is content. Content. And this is your channel. So anybody that comes in, and these are all live afterwards, so you can go into and take all of that you learned from the lead gen formula, the ultimate lead gen formula course. Go watch that YouTube. Optimize every single Tipsy Tuesday hangout for keywords, for descriptions and links and all of that stuff, and you're going to have a ton, because I'll tell you, here's a secret. Google Hangouts and these webinars rank better than regular videos uploaded into YouTube.
Really?
They do. It's not advertised, but they want to promote these types of things. So it's a new kind of deal that they're going down. They no longer are attaching YouTube to Google Plus, so they took that part of it out. Now Google Plus is separate from YouTube, and I believe that they're going to add another social element inside of YouTube than it already is. But it is on its own. The things that we can add to it is just better for yourself. So the more content you have, the better you can do, and the better you're going to do. So I would never stop sharing this stuff. And that's another thing too. Don't hoard your secrets and hold them tight. Share them with everybody. If you figure something out, share it with every single person that you possibly can. Nobody's going to steal your stuff. Nobody's going to plagiarize you. And if it happens, who cares? It's probably going to be by somebody who doesn't even know what they're doing anyway. So, even if they crop your name out of a picture on Instagram, because that happens all the time too. Everybody knows how to crop photos for the most part. You can go and use all kinds of apps, take whoever's name out of the picture you want. And I got to the point now where I don't even care. I'll repost just to get more content on my Instagram thing. I use the repost app maybe 2 or 3 times a day. If I don't have the time to sit down and make my own photos, I'm still getting traffic. Sure, it says their name. I still give them credit for the photo, but they're not going to get traffic. I don't get any traffic from people reposting my pictures. It never happens.
Yeah, and I've noticed reposts get a lot more likes. So yeah, if you guys aren't reposting over at Instagram, it's an app called Repost. It's free, and you'll be allowed to repost other people's content, and it definitely brings a lot of traffic to your page. I totally agree.
Yeah, absolutely. And here's another little nugget for you on that particular topic: is if you think about it, all of those big companies and magazines and all that stuff hire people out to create Instagram posts. So if you're reposting something that is a professionally put together image, it's already, optimized for colors, for text, and all of that stuff that's added onto it. So you're going to see and reap the benefits for that just by reposting a picture. Who cares if it's somebody else's stuff? Nobody has the time that it takes to talk to that many people. It just does. It takes a lot of time. So any process that you can use to grow your following and to grow that audience is good.
Yeah.
Reposting is good.
Perfect. Well, I'll have to get together with you guys and find out when we can have you on again, because we can do an Instagram with you guys. Yeah.
You guys are so close. It's crazy. We just get together and watch a Broncos game and drink some beers. So.
Oh yeah, I'm down.
All right.
Go Broncos.
That's right. And Paul and I have been chatting and just haven't been able to get together yet. But
yeah, Paul and I a long time ago were talking about trying to get all the Colorado people together for go somewhere and hang out and do some masterminding. So.
That'll be a lot of fun. So, but yeah, for sure, we'll keep plugged into this and grow this Tipsy Tuesday. So, we can have some good times on here too. So.
Perfect. Well, thank you guys so much, and for all of you who are here attending, thank you so much for coming and hanging out. Go over, find Matt and April, and Cowboys. See Eric over there. Right. Come on, Eric. This is Bronco Town. You can't be talking Cowboys.
That's okay.
It's America's team, right?
Not anymore. Broncos took over last year, so.
All right. Well, thank you guys all so much. And if you want to come next week, it's 30 minutes long every time, every day, every Tuesday at the same time. TipsyTuesdayMastermind.net, and we will see you soon. Thank you so much for coming and for all that you brought to us today, Matt. Thank April as well. Yes, and we'll talk to you soon.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.